Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand this is a safe place to land. Please understand you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back. Y'all, I am still fighting the flu, but I put on some makeup and I'm going to pretend to be alive. So, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. My buddy, mod, co host, whatever, John, isn't with us tonight because he is still really fighting the flu. My husband just walked in. If you see me paying attention elsewhere, hold on just a second. I'm going to mute you while I tell him something. Okay, I'm back. I was just telling him that I made soup and would he please take some to Dad? So, yeah, I made a big old crock pot. I have a giant crock pot. I don't remember. It holds like 10 quarts or something like that. It holds a lot. It's the biggest one I could find that doesn't go into like actual, like, turkey baster kind of roaster kind of thing. But I have those too. But anyway, so I made a big crock pot of broccoli cheese soup, but I wanted it to be a little more fortifying. I don't know, with being sick and everything, so I added some a little bit of rice and I added some Kentucky smoked ham that Mark got, and I don't know. So I'm hungry. But anyway, he's going to take some to Dad for me and then he can have dinner while I do this live. So anyway, it's good to see everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. There's several of you have already come in. So hi, good to see you. If you're here for the first time, this is But First Coffee. I am Susie Oberholtz, and we normally talk about cults or any kind of like high control groups, or I don't know, just pretty much anything that hurts people, or does harm to people, like addiction or abusive relationships, whatever. And we're just kind of a peer support group. We like to meet here several times a week and talk about this, that, and everything. I am very into the anti-Scientology movement, and tonight's video will be about that whole movement. And but they're not all about that. And in fact, I've done less and less of them, but I'm going to try to do some new ones coming up. I see Jan just popped into the back, so that's good. She can star some comments for us, and maybe I will get to all the important stuff. So I'm going to say hi to the chat real quick. I try to keep that fairly short, but then we're going to get started because I've got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. So, Julie O'Connell, it is so good to see you, and thank you so much for being a mod. Same with you, Heat My Shorts. I absolutely love looking up and seeing you all in the chats every day. Aw, Julia, thank you so much. That is very unnecessary, but very appreciated. I always am just kind of like shocked, seriously, whenever I get a super chat or something because I just never expect it. I mean, I do have it where you can do it, but it's just one of the things that you do when you get monetized is you just kind of monetize everything and you go on, you don't worry about it. Or I don't. But then every once in a while I'll get one and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." It really does make me feel good. So thank you. Thank you very much. That is awesome. Yes, it is, isn't it? It was very awesome. So thank you. Marilee says we are team us. That's right. We are team us. Yeah, I said I'm team y'all. And I meant to say that as in like you all or something, but I said all you or so I don't know. But anyway, but team y'all, as in y'all, all y'all out there. So I'm team y'all. I'm on your team. Aw, good to see y'all talking to each other. I saw somebody. Oh, yeah, I was about to say, well, Jan's here, but I know Jan's here. Duh. Cowboys fan is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Okay, getting down towards the bottom. Yeah, here we go. Right. Incarnasol is here. Good to see you too, sir. I'm gonna be hitting you up to come on and go live again before long. I have a list, y'all. I just want to have somebody on here every day. That's my favorite part. Mary Lee saying hi to Mark. He's already went outside. I'm not sure if he went to Dad's already or if he's just bringing more stuff in, but I'll tell him. Oh, you appreciate me coming on even with the flu? Thank you. I'm better today. At least I have a voice and I'm not running a fever right now. I was last night, but I haven't today. So it may be going to get better. Ooh, you made a big bowl of pasta. That sounds good. I love soup too. I told my dad today that I had made broccoli cheese soup, and he said, "Sounds like a good idea." And I said, "Now I'm gonna make some potato soup sometime later this week." I said, "Probably not until at least day after tomorrow, because I want to eat leftovers tomorrow." And he says, "Well, count me in." He says, "I'll eat some too." So, yeah, my daddy, he just lives right on the same property. We live on 160 acres. It's been in our family since the land run here in Oklahoma. And I kind of have a love-hate, thought with that because I'm so proud that we've had this land for this long. But I hate that it was gotten the way that it was gotten. But then I have Native American blood too, so, I'm like, "Ugh," it is just like this, right? Like, I'm all happy, I'm happy, I'm not about it, so I just choose to be happy and proud of it and to honor it. I honor it. Yeah, hi, back office Jan. Yeah, we do have a lot of fun, we just always Oh, Scooter Annex Cult Report, good to see you. Yeah, and post on this topic. Yeah, guys, this topic, boy, I tell you what, Linda Scott, good to see you. I'll come back to that. Yeah. Oh, I just missed something. I know I missed somebody, but you're afraid you were the only one on here on this side? I don't know. I don't know. So, y'all, I I'm just gonna dive in. If if y'all have seen my last couple of lives, you know that I don't make New Year's resolutions, and I promise this is gonna make sense in a minute. Um, but I do make goals or intentions. I set intentions. And oh my, y'all, I'm probably gonna end up with tissue stuffed up my nose or something because it's just ugh. But anyway, so yeah, I I do set goals and intentions. And my main goal for this year was that I want to always be my authentic self. I want that if you are on this live and you see me on here or you happen to meet me on the street, that I'm the same person. I don't want you to be like, "Oh, you seem different on your live." Better or worse. I mean, maybe I'm better on the live or maybe I'm worse on the live. I don't know. Whatever it is, I want to be that same person. And my other intention was that I want to talk on a lot of different topics. And whether that be Scientology or other cults or I don't know, whatever, right? I mean, we could talk about anything and everything and I want to be able to do that without feeling like that I'm not doing what I ought to be doing all the time, you know. So another intention that I have set is to try to stay out of just the bitchy gossip drama shit that goes on in the ex Scientology community. And I'm sure it goes on in other communities too, but this is the one I'm in. So I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. I watch other videos, but I'm not in communities of those other kinds of videos. I have certain other creators that are friends of mine and I watch their videos, but I'm not necessarily in other communities, if that makes any sense. So, anyway, today I'm going to talk about something that's not really all that fun. And I really wanted to be just fun, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And so, believe it or not, when I did my last live, I already had this one prepared and ready to go. In fact, this one has been in the rotation for months. And one thing or another happens, and I just stop and don't do it. Mainly, what happens is some kind of stupid drama goes on. And I always kind of feel like that if I do this live, then that people are going to assume that I'm talking about the stupid drama that's going on right then. And I'm not, but I can't just keep putting it on the background or the back burner because I believe that this is an important live to do. So I went ahead and put it on there and I thought I'm doing it. Come hell or high water, I'm doing it. And then when you know it, oh no, it's Nora has went on her repetitive multi-hour rant of attacking, well, of course, Aaron, but literally anyone that supports him or just doesn't not support him. Like I guess if you don't support him, like if you absolutely go against him, she might leave you alone. But if you don't do that, you're on her shit list. And I've somehow ventured onto it, y'all. And I don't know. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And I know that a lot of you are. I really do. And I would absolutely love to never mention Nora again. And I really hadn't until I was like shown several um like time stamps and screen, I don't know, whatever, of when she was like talking about me and people that I care about. And she seems to think that I do daily rants about her and have for several months. And I would like to invite her to come and look at my channel and show me where these daily rants for the last 6 or 8 months are, because they're not there. They don't exist. And show me. Put up or shut up. That's what I'd like to say. But you know what? Even if I did, like tonight, have something to say about her, it is nothing compared to the daily, sometimes multiple times a day, like today, that she has gone on and attacked anyone and everyone. And I'm fed up with it. She has attacked friends of mine. She's attacked people that I don't know. It's just one after the other after the other. And I'm tired of it. And I really did fully intend to be done with her in 2026. But y'all, the thing is that today's live that we are going to talk about, it, it it describes her to the T. And so there's no way that I could do this live without people immediately thinking I was talking about her. So I might as well just go, yeah, sure, whatever. If, the shoe fits. I used to say if the something about client or something about, I can't remember what I used to say now. Damn, my brain's not braining. But I used to tell people that, if that's what they thought, to climb up on their high horse and ride that bitch to town. So if that's what she wants to do, she can. This is the year of the horse, so I'm going to be coming up with all kinds of horse sayings this year, probably. So anyway, I'm tired of it, and I just want to move on from there. And guys, if you think about it, there's people in this chat right now that have poured their heart and soul into fighting against the cult of Scientology, fighting for current Scientologists and, former first, second, and third generation Scientologists, including myself, but there's others. There's others out there too. And then to have the people that we are fighting for to turn on us, to belittle our contributions or insult our dedication by reducing it to that we are now in a cult just because we support Aaron or we support Jenna, or and Lord help us if we support both of them, then we must be in some kind of, I don't even know what kind of cult. I mean, it gets ridiculous. And I just want to say for a minute, if I could say something straight to Nora, I would say, do you know why those of us that support Aaron support him, or those of us that support Jenna support her, even if we don't like some of the things that either one of them says or does? Because I don't necessarily like a lot that Aaron does, but I support him. So I guess maybe I should say it about me, but really it's about all of us. Do you know why we support them? Because they're fighting Scientology. We don't care about all the other bullshit. We don't care. They don't go on and do hours and hours and hours of rants about anybody but Scientology. And that's why we support them. So, and the sad thing is that because of all this that goes on, we've lost so many viewers and we have lost so many good creators. And it is heartbreaking because Scientology wins if we lose viewers and we lose creators. I just don't get it. I mean, if you don't like Aaron, don't watch him. If you don't, support him, don't support him. Same with me. If you don't like me, don't watch me. I don't like Nora. I used to. I thought she was wonderful. She is very entertaining and a wealth of information and has a way about saying things that makes, it drew me in when she's really talking about Scientology. She has a way that I could never have. And so that's who we want to support, is people that are fighting the fight, not people that are fighting each other. So that's what we respect about Aaron, even if we don't like anything else about him or anything else about Jenna. That's what we watch them for, is for that, because that's what matters. The rest of this crap is just crap. So, I am very upset. Again, I am going to say this, and then I think I'm going to, go straight to the what this thing is supposed to actually be about. But I am really upset that she doxed Cheryl. I really am. And that she didn't try to fix it or try to warn Cheryl. That's not cool. There are so many crazy people, so many. And crazy people are drawn to the very kind of content that Nora puts out there. And so we don't know what kind of crazy could be watching that, and all of a sudden they have her address, and I don't like it. And yes, I know that Aaron doxed Reese, 2, 3 years ago, whatever it was. But I also know that he tried to fix that immediately and that he immediately called her and warned her. And I don't know. I mean, she said whenever I've heard her say it, and I don't know how she feels today, and I don't care. But she has said that she's almost grateful that he did because it has changed her life for the better. And so I'm I don't want to speak for her, but that she did say something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, yes, she did. Cowboy yesterday, I believe it was. Yeah, she was showing Aaron's court papers, like we don't already know the man was arrested, and because she was his, the person that paid his bail and stuff for him, her address and everything was on it, and so yeah, and she didn't fix it, so uh, yeah, I agree. I agree about Marisa, I do, but I'm just saying that that is what she said. But anyway, so Nora, if you're watching, you got your 15 minutes or so of feed from me, and I am done with you. So please leave me the hell out of your comments, and I will leave you the hell out of mine. You have cost me viewers. You have cost me a mod, and I am done with you. Done. And I'm moving on to things that are important, like fighting the cult of Scientology. So I did prepare some, and I hope my eyes are working good enough to read these, y'all. I did prepare some slides. It looks like I pretty much can. Because I wanted to know, and I have been looking into this for a long time, of why in the world do so many Scientologists, ex-Scientologists, excuse me, attack other ex-Scientologists, because I don't see it happening a lot in other cults, um, not to the not as openly and everything as it seems to be with Scientology. And I have asked around to some people that are in other communities of other cults and stuff, and they said, it happens, but that it's generally the cult attacks the person, not so much the other ex cult members attacking each other. So anyway, so this was something that absolutely beyond giving a flying shit about Nora or anybody. This has been something I've been wanting to do for a while. So anyway, um and this is absolutely not me. I'm not a therapist or anything. I went to the experts, did a lot of digging, and came up with this information. So everybody seemed to agree that trauma doesn't automatically heal when someone leaves, and I absolutely can understand that, because even just from a high control relationship, I've been out of my high control relationship longer than I was in it, and I still have trauma. I still have triggers that, that things will happen, and it'll put me right there in that moment, back in that time and day. And so I imagine that that could be true with them too. But they are saying that leaving a cult does not equal recovery. Some people leave physically, publicly, and very loudly, but not psychologically. And I think that says a lot about our ex Scientologist friends. I think so many of them, they say you can take the girl or the guy or whatever out of the cult, but you can't take the cult out of the girl or guy or whatever. And that seems like such a simple little, smart ass thing to say, but it's the truth. I think that it is very hard. And I can only imagine that in a cult situation that it would be even, I don't know, even harder, because a cult is every single minute of your life, it is, and a lot of these people were born into it, so it's from the time they were born. I'm not belittling, like, at all, trust me, high control relationships or abusive relationships, I'm not belittling that. I'm just talking about cults tonight, though, and I really do believe this. I think that you can take the person out of the cult, but you can't take the cult out of the person. Now, not always. There are clearly some that seem to move on better. Hold on. Mm. Natalie, for instance, seems to be more, I don't know, healed than a lot of them. And I include Aaron in that. There are times that I think that Aaron very much shows that he was in a cult. A lot of it was just the immaturity of his personal life, and I don't wanna I'm not gonna turn into Nora and sit here and rag on Aaron. But, I mean, seriously, if we think about that and we just use him as an example, you know, teenagers, they go through all of these little relationships and these breakups and this, being with this one and that one and, playing the field, and we learn how to have relationships in our teens. And for these ex-cult members, they grew up in a cult where they didn't have that opportunity. They didn't have the opportunity to learn those things. And so that's what I mean about the immaturity of personal relationships is because, I mean, of course he's going to be immature about that. I don't care if he was married for 100 years. It's one person. And so when it comes to having other relationships, he hasn't even completely walked away from that marriage, and that actually I think is a good thing. I think it shows that he's not just like half the things that is said about him. I think that he, he's hard it's hard for him to let go of people. I think that's part, and I'm just like, running my mouth, but I think that that's a lot of why he hasn't divorced yet is because they've already lost so many people, and I think it feels ick to, you know, to cut someone else off. That's just me. I can see it though. I could be that way. Okay. Unprocessed trauma can show up as hypervigilance, obsession, paranoia, emotional desegregulation. I know the word, can't say it. Black and white thinking, compulsive threat hunting. Now, I think that, hey, definite trouble source, I am so glad to see you. I really am. Thank you for being here. Y'all, this is Erica, but she is a rock star, y'all. She's like the greatest asset that the anti-Scientology movement's got. I truly believe that. So, anyway, I believe that all of these things and how it can show itself. I really do. And again, I don't want to harp on Nora, but all of those things show. And I know she's had a lot of therapy and everything. But I'm wondering, and this isn't to badmouth her. I'm wondering if the therapy that she's getting is the therapy that she needs. I think that she would absolutely need to go to somebody that understands where she's been, understands Scientology, not just cults, but Scientology, because they are literally the most difficult cult to leave and to recover from. And all of the experts say that. And so I really, you know, I mean, I can jump on the whole thing and truly believe it and kind of say if that's what therapy has done for her, no thank you, I'll do without. But I really, when I sit back and try to be my logical self, I just think that she needs to have somebody, and not just her, but y'all, I think they all need somebody that knows Scientology, that knows how hard it is, knows the absolute truth about it and knows that they are trained to lie, that they are trained, to do all these things that they're trained to do, and that they're trained to not react to things. I think that it would be very difficult to be a therapist dealing with an ex-Scientologist if that ex-Scientologist was not 100% wanting to heal. So I'm seeing a lot more of you come in, and I want to say hi to everybody, but I'm going to try to get through this. So anyway, I'm gonna have to turn this off for a second. I'm sorry. Usually I have John that can read my small print because my eyes still aren't right, but they are getting better. But I'm gonna have to have another eye surgery, so I'll be letting you know about that. Anyway, it says when this happens, the nervous system is still living in Scientology mode. Someone is always dangerous. Someone is always plotting. Yeah, the energy has to land somewhere. So that is saying basically that these, ex Scientologists that tend to attack the other ex Scientologists, that they're doing it because it's what's been, taught to them. They are taught that someone is after them at all times. There is always somebody after them. There is always somebody, trying to get them, out to get them, all this stuff. They have to have an enemy all the time. And that's where a lot of that comes from. And who do they know the best so that they know what buttons to push on these other people? Other former Scientologists or people like us that we inserted ourselves right into their world, and we get to know them and they get to know us and everything. And so we become an easy target also. And also, because if they did that to just people randomly on the street would be like, "Fuck you, go away. I don't care about you. Go back to Scientology if you think it's so great." Kind of, And so I don't mean that ugly. It's the truth. And so they know that it's kind of like you can hurt the ones that you love the most. Like they know that deep down, even though we don't like what they're doing, that we care about them and we have a degree of love for them. And so we are the easy people to hurt, either other former Scientologists or those of us that care. So then I'm going to add this other one. So identity collapse and platform pressure equals rage. For some ex-members, their entire identity becomes ex-Scientologist, truth teller, protector of survivors, moral authority. Absolutely. When other members are doing things different, that threatens their identity. Like if somebody else is doing something different, it threatens their identity. They don't think, "Oh, well, we've just got different ways of doing the same thing." No, they think, "Well, then my way's the right way. They're doing it wrong." So, anyway, that kind of thing. And yeah, they feel threatened by allies that are being welcomed and brought in, and we basically have come in, and at some points it's almost like we almost forget that we weren't in the cult too. Like I never think I was in the cult. I don't mean it that way, I swear to God, and I'm glad I wasn't. Sorry. But I take it so personally that my other friends that know me in my, quote unquote real life are like, "Well, were you in Scientology? When were you in Scientology? I didn't know." I'm like, "No, I wasn't in Scientology." But it's because we become so involved in it, and just we just want to fix it for everybody. So anyway, and of course there is, they get threatened by different nuances or having boundaries set for them, or anybody that they perceive as a leadership, and especially if it's a calm leadership. Because in Scientology, they don't have a calm leadership. They are used to that screaming and fighting and all that. So if somebody even comes in halfway calm, that is seen as like it's mocking them or something. And it's not how it is. and it can trigger narcissistic injury, even if that person is not a narcissist. And the thing is I am not going to try to diagnose anybody with narcissism because I am not qualified, and I'm glad I'm not, to be perfectly honest. But I get that. I get that it can be a narcissistic injury, to where, even if you aren't a narcissist, but good Lord, if you are, can you imagine? I can just imagine what it would be like. Oh, okay. Goodness. And that injury often comes out as long rants, hmm, obsession with one or two targets, revisionist history. Yeah, rewriting history, y'all. Rewriting history, false accusations, and projection, right? Absolutely. I like the projections that everybody else is doing all this stuff, and that this person or that person is obsessed with this or that, when it's actually this other person that's doing the daily rants and rewriting history and all. Yeah, absolutely, Erica. They are on the mark. Absolutely. So again, I don't want to just point fingers just at Nora, but she keeps putting herself in that spotlight, and it does fit. So, I can't help it. Yeah, they'll just protest too much. Absolutely. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Okay. So, why they attack supporters, quote unquote, never ends, like you and like me and, all of us that aren't ex-Scientologists. So, it says supporters who are never in are essentially threatening before you weren't broken by Scientology. Yeah. You didn't internalize a hierarchy. You don't respond to intimidation. You model calm and authority and boundaries. And you center healing, not chaos. See, I don't think so. No, it says it's on. Can everybody else hear me? I think so. Is anybody else not able to hear me? Okay. 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 You can hear me fine. Okay. I was like, oh gosh, thank goodness, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. So Mare was having problems, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, I can kind of see it that they attack us because it's kind of one of those, you don't know what we went through, right? You didn't have your childhood ruined. How dare you come in here and tell us how we should do this or do that or how we should feel? Well, it's not that we're doing that. We're really not, but that's how it can be seen. You know, um, we understand boundaries. They don't have any. They just, they will just walk all over the boundaries, and we're like, "No, this is a boundary for me. This is a hard stop. You're not gonna pass this." They don't understand that, so they have to attack that because they can't be wrong. We have to be wrong. And so, I was even thinking about earlier when I was trying to decide on what to say in this. I was thinking about, how we'll say that they're survivors of the cult or that they are victims, that they were victimized by Scientology and that kind of stuff. And then I got to thinking about how in Scientology, they're not supposed to be survivors or victims. That's like downtone or whatever. That's a no no. You're not supposed to be a victim. Nothing. Anything that happens to you is your fault. You did it to yourself, that whole thing. And so I wonder if even like me or anybody else as a never in whatever you want to call us, um, if we like, I don't mean feel sorry for them, like pity them, but I mean like I do feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for them losing their childhood. I feel sorry that so many of them were sexually abused or that they were, human trafficked or anything. I feel sorry for them. That doesn't mean that I pity them. in a belittling kind of a way, but I wonder if they see it that way. And so I wonder if that makes them attack us too. I really do. So here's another question that I get constantly. Are they working with Scientology? So here's the grounded answer, right? Probably not. I think that Nora wants Scientology to end. But I also think that the people like Nora and some of the others know that if Scientology ends, so does their paycheck because they don't have anything else to talk about. They don't have anything else going on in their lives that they can talk about on a daily to continue having their channels. And they haven't got the education, and not all of them, clearly. There's clearly some. Natalie could walk away and never do her channel and be fine. So could Aaron. So could, um, oh gosh, anyway, a lot of them. A lot. There's way less now. And there's way more people that have never even had a channel that are living great lives. But the ones that I'm talking about are the ones that are doing all this crap, that are, stirring this crap up. So, yeah, I think that's part of it is I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know what you think. So, I really do think that, they want it to end, but they're afraid for it to end at the same time. And probably not even consciously. I think it's subconscious. But anyway, their behavior can still benefit Scientology because it fractures survivor communities. We're seeing that all the time. I used to not be able to finish in a day's time all the videos that I wanted to watch that came out every day. And now I get on I get on YouTube and I can't figure out who I wanna watch. Like, I got on there today and I was just like, "Is anybody doing videos anymore?" I mean, I know there are some, but I have found myself going to other types of videos more and more often because there's just not that many people doing videos, and honestly, I'm very distrustful. Like, I don't know because I don't go and watch some of the, hate channels, so I don't know if some of the people that I'm watching are actually like people on those hate channels, and then I'm just like thinking, "Oh, this person's great," right? And not realizing that they're talking shit about somebody, including me, behind the scenes, right? So, yeah, I'm really I don't know, I'm just like, I don't know who to watch other than if it's somebody that I absolutely know. So, it exhausts leaders and moderators. Yeah, it's exhausting. I feel bad because, like, I I have so many moderators, but I do that so that none of them feel like they have to be here all the time, because the minute that they know that people know that I'm gonna talk about Scientology or something that might even be a tiny bit spicy, then I suddenly have all these people on here, and we get a lot of trolls. And so I don't wanna wear my moderators out. So, anyway, it makes the movement look unstable. It shifts the focus from institutional abuse to personal drama. All of that is so true. So, I don't know. I think that this is pretty. I think it's pretty, straight up right about it. Why they do it. It comes down to I just don't think that they've healed. So why not just ignore them? Why that doesn't always work? Why you can feel kind of stuck? Why don't we just ignore people, right? I get that all the time. Ignore them, ignore them, ignore them. But why don't you just ignore people you don't like? I say that to people. If you don't like me, don't watch me. If I don't like you, I'm not going to watch you. But that doesn't work with somebody that is damaged, okay? And so, the ranting, attacking, accusing, releases adrenaline. It creates a sense of control. It provides a purpose. It avoids grief and shame. It, I guess it was a fly. I can't figure out what was moving over here. And it actually prevents deeper healing. For someone stuck there, silence from their target can actually increase fixation. So again, I don't know what to do, right? I don't know what to do because if I ignore it, it happens. If I speak out, it happens. So the best thing that I know that I'm going to do is I'm just going to do my thing. I'm just going to worry about my channel and my friends. And, you know, they're not going to chase me away from this anti Scientology movement. They're just not going to. So, why your channel is being targeted is because our channel represents stability, community, moderation, boundaries, mental health framing, survivors, allies working together. And that threatens them. That threatens people like Nora. I can't remember what this one was. Yeah. Oh, that was just one I skipped. It's fine. We don't need that one right now. I kind of went over it without going over it. So, anyway, so what do you all think? You know, should I just completely ignore the drama all the time, or is it okay to ever speak out? And if I speak out, is it best to do it like how I'm doing it today, whenever it's on a actual topic that I was actually going to cover anyway? So I'm really, really interested in what y'all have to say. Yeah, I see Marilee says, I don't think OSA is paying them. I think it's just angry, foolish people, but I wouldn't bet money on it. Exactly. I know, that's how I am. I'm like, no, it's not OSA, but maybe it is. Yeah, ZDT was definitely paid by Scientology and Patrick Perry. Yeah, I think we need to support one another. I think so too. I'm gonna go back and check the starred comments and then I'll see what else we've got. Okay. If I missed something, I'm really sorry. So again, thank you, Julia. That's so very kind. I never expect super chats, but they feel good. Not gonna lie. Yes, Marilee. I too really miss when Nora did some fantastic streams. Now it just makes me sad. It does me too. It really does. It makes me sad. I absolutely understand that. Okay. So Cowboy Fan says, this is why I completely stopped watching all the SPTV creators. I just can't take the fighting between all of them. I get that. I really do. And I actually even walked away from the community for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, but I just couldn't because I still want so badly to defeat Scientology that I have to figure out a way to be able to deal with the ex-Scientologists that are acting trolly. I have to figure out how to do that, and I don't know. So Linda says I stopped watching her as well. I could feel my blood pressure rise when I watch her. Me too. I can't do it, and I don't. And she can sit there and say that I do, but I don't. I in fact, whenever I went over today and I went to her channel, but all I was going to do was to see how many subscribers does she have. And she has a little over 2,000 subscribers, but I was thinking about how many subscribers did she used to have? Because that doesn't seem like very many at all for an actual ex-Scientologist in this community. And I looked at her um, views, and she gets more than double that. And so that tells me that a lot of people are watching just like hate views. And so I wish that they just wouldn't, because maybe if she wasn't getting the views, now I'm not trying to take her channel down. That's not what I'm trying to do. I keep thinking that maybe if she just quit getting the views that she would sit and think, "What am I doing wrong?" Because 'Cause I've done that, my views went down whenever I walked away from drama so much, and I had to try to figure out what I was doing wrong and if it mattered enough, and I figured out in my situation, I'd rather have less views and not deal with drama. So I'm wondering if she had less views, if she would see that a lot of these people, they're not watching you because they like you. They're watching for the drama. And I would just pray that she would be like, no, I'm not going to do that. So let's see. Cowboy says, I am so glad I am not watching Nora. Me too. Nora used to teach us about Scientology with her knowledge from the inside. What has happened to her? I know, Jan, I know. I really did. I had family members. In fact, my sister-in-law, Karen, the one that went on vacation with Mark and I before, um, she asked, like, "Who should I watch? Like, who should I watch to not just for the entertainment value or whatever, but to because she's starting from 0. She didn't know really anything about Scientology other than what I was saying on my show. And so she was like, "Who should I watch?" And I told her that she should watch Aaron and that she should watch, um, Nora. And I said, "There's others." I said, "But those 2 really every show they do is about Scientology, and they're, telling the facts and blah, blah, blah." And now I'm like, "Just whatever you do, don't watch Nora." Because I'm like, "Just don't." Because she was like, "Who is this Nora person? You told me to watch her, and all she's doing is talking about some Aaron guy." And she thought that I don't know, she says she thought that, like, Nora was obsessed, like, a love obsessed with Aaron, and I said, "No, she's married to a woman." But, yeah, it does almost seem like a that kinda thing. So, Mare says, "Jan, I wish I knew. She was really interesting. Now she's just nasty." Absolutely. I really did used to like her. I really did, y'all. Now, when I first saw her, I didn't. In the very beginning, I just couldn't click with her, but then she really got good at it. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I would pretty much bet money that it was intentional. I really would. Yes, you are correct here. Our nervous system does hold on to traumas. It sure does. Hey, Ian. A lot of these people have done more damage than help. The infighting, turning on each other, trying to be the loudest, etc. It's sad. The community deserves better representation. I agree. I agree. The infighting is letting Scientology win. You are true. That is true. All the Scientologists know is to attack each other because it's all they know how to do. It's like their minds are stuck in a teenage mode. Exactly. That's a lot of what I was saying too. I didn't go on with that part of it, but you're right. Rocking it out for life. It isn't easy moving on from high demand religions. For me, it's about going through the stages and learning how things are done on the outside. Absolutely. I was really surprised, but I have seen it from several different sources that talk about that Scientology is the hardest cult to get over. To not only to leave, but to leave in your head, and that makes me just really sad. I don't it just does. I am learning how to allow myself to feel and process anger for the loss, the betrayal, etc. I don't have to do anything with my anger except feel it and let it go. Now see, that is healing. That's I think that's beautifully said. I truly do. I didn't mean to hit on that one. Sorry. My fingers slipped. Okay. Definite trouble source their lives from birth skip over, yeah, all the developmental stages. Yeah. So they don't get to learn basic stuff at the essential time that they are supposed to. Big void there. That is so true. You are so right. And I think that is with all of them. Y'all, my throat's getting sore from talking. Yeah, it's a fight or flight mode. I agree. I do. Whoops. I agree with that too. I really do. Okay. I see Nora practicing different tools as she searches for what will work with her. And for her, it takes a lot of time and many setbacks happen. I want her to get over it. I really do. I want her to be healthy and happy and all that. I'm not, I'm not like wanting to tear her down. I am actually very worried about her. But I'm also very worried about this community and the people that she harms while she searches for something that works for her. Rocket Out says, I don't feel sorry or pity for any of them. Everyone has big stuff in their life. No one is immune. Oh, I know that. But I feel sorry for people of lots of different things, have had things wrong. I don't mean that only feel bad for them. I don't know. I'm very empathetic about things. And when somebody else hurts, I hurt for them. And so I know what you're saying. I absolutely do. But I do feel bad for them. And I do give them certain allowances, but sometimes enough is enough. And we've passed that. Yeah, Marilee says, I feel sorry for the child inside, but the adult needs to get the right help. Absolutely. Well, the first thing that needs to happen is that Nora needs to literally take a step back away from YouTube. I really believe that. It is exhausting that people who attack others, it distracts from the goal to end Scientology. Absolutely. I agree. Y'all, I'm just agreeing all over the place. Definite Trouble Source says it's hard to believe that OSA is not paying haters, but I believe they are getting the dirty work done for free. The haters actually continue to be abused by Scientology when they, yeah, when they troll volunteers. Yes, 100% right there. I don't think, I don't think that they're being paid by OSA, but they're doing OSA's work for them. That's how I kind of. Oh, thank you. You did a great job delineating impact of trauma. I just scratched myself. But it's just hard to have compassion for those who are persecuting. Oh, I know. I know. It This is calm, Susie. At times that whenever I'm not on here, I am like a raving lunatic, just pissed at the world. And I write these notes up of what I'm going to talk about, and they go through several edits because they go from an awful lot of, you know, F this, F them, F blah, 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 to me saying, okay, now logically, I know that this is what is right. But damn, I mean, it's exhausting. So let's see here. Continue parroting the negatives. You are hilarious. Don't otherwise engage. Their opinion of you had nothing to do with you. I agree. And I had fun with those parodies. And the thing is what really got me, and I'm gonna do some, don't get me wrong, is that okay, for instance, when I did the immature Emma, I'd never said anything that hadn't been said. I just bunched it all together where maybe it was in 5 lives, I put it into 1. So, I meant to show the absurdity of it. That was the whole deal. Yes, what I said was absurd. That was the point. So that's kinda what you do in that situation. So I appreciate that somebody completely understood what I was doing. So, yeah, I always used to say that Immature Emma or Sister Bougie, they could get away with a whole lot more than Susie can get away with. So, anyway, Scooter says, "This is why my channel focuses on supporting the smaller channels. I promote those that are doing the work and not trashing others." Absolutely. And that is something that I truly, truly want to do this year, big time. I want to have lots of people on that have smaller channels, even smaller channels than mine. Mine's little, but even smaller than mine or bigger than mine, I don't care, but I do wanna to bring people on like yourself that are doing the work, and so that's my goal. I often wanted to speak up about many creators and their treatment of others, and me personally, I figure I'll make an AI movie about it someday. My sanity was more important than calling anyone out. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Oh, I delayed starting my channel because of all of it. I would have been pulled into all of it and not been able to stay mentally safe. Yeah. I walked away from a lot of it and a lot of people. Oh, that my dogs are barking, y'all. I just, I had to walk away from some of it. It just wasn't worth it. I'm just learning from all the ex-Scientologists. Or I miss learning, sorry. Yeah, Julia, I do too, from learning from all the ex-Scientologists for their knowledge. I know. I used to just sit and just be like, "Oh my gosh, they are so smart. They don't think they are, but they're so smart. They've got so much to give and, so much to tell." And it just, I just am tired of the fighting. Heat says sending support to anyone who needs it. Absolutely. And this is absolutely true. Ben says some people are addicted to being angry. Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I agree completely with a lot of what you all had to say. I didn't really see anything I disagreed with. So, anyway, thank you all so much for being here. We have just went over the hour and I'm going to go see if this soup turned out good. Mark's eating. Mark says it's too damn hot. I tend to not put it down on low quick enough for him. So, yeah, I am going to go have some soup, wash this makeup off, and go back to sleep. I actually have tomorrow's video all ready to go, and it is cults or culty. And I'm going to tell you right now, it don't have anything to do with Nora or anything. It has to do with the overuse of the word cult. So that's what it's about. So, I guess it could have a little bit to do with that because, supposedly we're all or a lot of us are in the cult of Aaron, but that's not what it's about. But I think it's going to be really interesting too because I'm going to really try to break down what is a cult and what is just culty behavior and what are some of the red flags to watch out for. So, anyway, we're going to talk about that tomorrow at 6:30 Central. So y'all please come back. It was so fun seeing some of you here that haven't been here for a while. I love you all and I will see you tomorrow.
Hope you enjoyed the show. So glad you were here. We meet here most days. We're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee, and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all.